Go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Smacked Up Wrestling's first show of 2018. Happy New Year and all that bullshit. But, of course, with it being the start of the year, also the best show of the year, Wrestle Kingdom 12. I'm joined by Flo.
Hello.
And, of course, Kirsty.
Who learned to wait a turn this new year.
Aye, about fucking time. And, of course, Will's nowhere to be seen because he doesn't wrestling.
It's like he's allergic to it. I think
He
he
is
only
allergic
likes
to
it because
And
he's
that, the
angry.
most important person that she's now interrupting, is Martin.
Hello.
Hi. We're going to talk about Wrestle Kingdom and New Year's Dash. Before we get into that, WWE even tried to get in this Wrestle Kingdom nonsense.
Yep.
They did indeed. They were
Because they
like,
finally
what should we- Oh, it was so beautiful.
on Raw. It was a wonderful moment. I hope there's more of it next week.
Finally,
they
see
are.
Finn and the other two together. Like, we waited for how long?
Forever.
Do you know what's really funny though, and it like took me to realise it, is that they'd based everything around this three-man team, and they've like quickly went, oh no, we need another three-man team that's air as fuck.
See,
And,
here's the
like-
problem though, right? They didn't a three-man team with nobody to fight except that Miz is back, and they've already
Oh, is
beaten
he?
up his two jabroni mates.
About a million times.
Aye, so now we've got a three-man team with a three-man jobber team and no one else for them to fight. And the
Aye.
Rumble's coming.
Only other three-man team is New Day, and yeah.
They're
Well,
not even on the same
And
show.
NXT, but on NXT you've got call-ups if you need them.
Aye, but
and-
that's nothing to do with the main roster, let's be honest. I think the is you're going to have a wee New Day club face-off tease.
To be
during the
fair,
Rumble.
Most likely.
to be fair though, how long do we need to continue to wait? I know we had it with AJ and Carl and Luke, but like this is not the three-man
Everybody
team.
wanted
Like,
G. They wanted Finn. He's the real boss of the Bullet Club. He always was.
Mm.
I
Anyway,
just find it really funny that WWE were like, oh shit, Wrestle Kingdom's this week. Hey guys, want to do a thing?
mind what we've got. Anyway, it was nice to see them. I hope we
It
get
was
to
good
see
regardless
much
of the
more.
reason.
Yeah, about the reason it's finally happened. Here's hoping they go with it. Eventually, leading to some kind of Shield Bullet Club face
That's
off.
all I want
Please,
in life. I feel like
please.
2013, 14, that's all I've wanted in my life is for this
Mhm.
to happen. Like versus like the Elite would be lovely and everything, but like if we're talking about OG, I want this. Like, this is
You
what
want
I
a proper fight
Just
between
bring
these
Tam
two.
here, that's all.
I
We
mean,
just need Tamate. Bring him.
Remember Wyatt's and the Shields matches were
Yeah.
those years back? They were great matches.
We had
and I
such
want
hope
something
for
that could
everybody.
finally top them. It's just a shame that it would only really be the two teams, because for a while WWE could almost have had a trios championship.
I
Mm.
know, like, what was the issue with having like? I mean, WWE never like to have more than like one or two factions.
Yeah, for some
And never,
reason.
it's the
Aye.
weirdest, especially like when I'm about to talk about it, especially when you watch New Japan, where it's just factions everywhere. Everybody has a
They-
faction.
We'll probably talk about this during the show, but the way New Japan do factions is a lot smarter.
Oh, it's
Because
Of
they're
course.
there doesn't mean they have to fight all the time. It's we're together to have each other's backs because we don't like Bullet Club are doing this, or we don't like the Suzuki Gun have came in to do that. But anyway,
as if like it's almost like that prison mentality where you've got to go and
exactly.
go to join a gang.
You're going to
because
shank
if you
me,
don't,
my mates are going to have a word with you.
Because if
you
you
know.
don't join a gang, then
You're fucked.
you're fucked. You better be real fucking good on your own, or like you better be part of a faction, and that's almost how it is. And I really like it. Like, great, more of this.
I mean, to some extent, it doesn't work like with a great or bigger faction in WWE, since all that is with, oh, you can't interfere right now. And in New Japan, you have like 5 people running into the ring and kicking the shit out of each other.
That's the thing as well in WWE.
That's
We
not
very
gonna happen.
rarely get more than 4. It's usually 3. 3 is like the safe
Yeah.
like amount. Like because like, if you think, what was the last like 5-man team or 4-man team?
You're going back to Evolution
Yeah.
and their original
pretty much.
incarnation.
Aye.
Unlike one of the jabroni teams, like say
Aye, like the core.
the
of
Social
Wrestling
Outcasts.
Nexus.
Yeah.
social
Nexus.
outcasts.
Don't
That was the last
remind
four-man
me,
team.
Martin.
Right, can we talk about good stuff now? That's
Aye,
what
of
we're here
course.
for. So, January 4th, 2018, Wrestle Kingdom 12. Holy shit.
It was
Seven-
beautiful.
7 hours of holy.
It
what
didn't
the
feel
hell
like
is
it.
going on?
It did not feel like 7 hours. That fucking flew by.
It felt for me because I watched the entire morning.
Ah, see,
Because
that's your
thank
mistake.
God I finally am able to watch wrestling live and not to stay up the entire night.
I know, it was so nice coming home for work, and then because work, and I put it on for where it was, realised it was halfway through the Jericho and Kenny match, and I bolted that mission and just went back to the very beginning. I was going to watch the end of it live and then go back.
Mm.
But I skipped. I didn't mean to, but I ended up skipping the pre-show by mistake.
Right.
But I seen the box and I was like, "Oh, this'll do nicely." But because I managed to skip the bits in between where they're resetting up and doing all that, I managed to cut it down to about 5.5 hours.
Honestly, my only problem this year is that there was no Madden saying hello, Ashy,
I know.
like at Wrestle Kingdom 11.
Oh.
But to be fair, my favourite line of commentary of the entire night was, "Is Daryl wearing a mask? How do you know
Oh.
it's
How do you
Daryl?
know it's
He's wearing
Daryl?"
a mask."
Can I just
Is
say,
it
right,
Jimmy?
see, one of New Japan's problems since they've switched to English was the unevenness of their commentary over the past few years. But Don Callis, he's won me over because he
Aye.
never gets in the way. He still acts like your obnoxious American. He sticks to kayfabe. See this stuff? I don't know if you had watched. See, after Jericho attacked him, was it Don Taku or something he attacked him at? I can't remember what event
Yeah,
it
me
was.
neither.
Anyway,
Yeah.
he was in the ring. Jericho gave him a code breaker. He then spent the next month, whenever he was going through airports in Japan, he had Kevin Kelly push while he had a big neck brace on, the full
He
Bobby
did,
Heenan.
aye.
And he stuck to everything like, I can't believe he attacked me, blah, blah, blah. And then when he spoke about it in commentary, he went, I was financially compensated by Mr. Jericho, so I can continue to do my job here today. And it was just so funny because Kevin Kelly just looked absolutely scunnered. For Americans and others, scunnered means really done in and put out by having to with his asshole moaning at him and having him push him around all the time. It was just money, honestly. And of course, Callis was the one that put all that together, Jericho and Omega.
Yep.
But
Beautiful.
as I was going to say, my point is they finally solved their commentary problem. Last year, Carino was fine. The year before, Striker was all right. Kevin Kelly's finally kind of found his groove and his
I
niche.
like Kevin Kelly.
He was a bit shit at first,
Yeah.
but he's
Cur-
better
He
now.
was, but he
Kirsty.
was in ROH. He grew. He learned.
I know, but see, for somebody to be a good commentator of what they're watching, they need to be a fan of it. He didn't really know New Japan for a while, and now he
Aye.
does, and now it
That's
works.
I mean,
My problem is, see, and I noticed this when I was rewatching last year's New Japan Rumble, or as New Japan World puts it, Rambo,
The
which is a much
Rambo.
better name. The
Yeah.
New Japan Rambo. You know, they need to change for broadcast because they use real songs, Skinner, Zeppelin, blah, blah, blah. It comes up on the top of the screen. The music has been changed due to rights. And the first thing Kevin Kelly said was, "Oh, I know this song." He's cut shit like that out.
Aye.
And it's made all. And the two of them together they've given New Japan a unique sound now. Like, for the first time ever, I've not put a New Japan event on and went commentators. Because although I only know a few words, it was like playing old Pro Evolution soccer games with the Spanish commentators. Didn't have a clue what they were saying, but they fucking loved what they were doing.
I really like that when you listen to because you used to only be able to find New Japan with Japanese. No, but they always just sounded ecstatic.
They were so into it.
Everything,
And it's a highlight.
And that's why the equivalent of Western commentators, it'd be JR. That's why we love him. He just gets so
back in the day when he was
away.
into it and he got excited about it, and half the things that happened wouldn't have worked without King being into it, or JR and Heyman being into it, and it's something
Heyman's
WWE
great
have.
at
a very long time.
Also,
I
I'm
mean,
pretty sure
well,
that most people, when we're talking about the English commentary in New Japan, that most people don't even know that Mauro Ronaldo was there a couple of years ago,
of course,
and he
of course.
is great.
But he only did it for access. And JR's, like, I have to say as well, if you're an American listener, they are doing Wrestle Kingdom 12 special on Access TV with JR commentating.
Last year I ended up watching it back with JR's commentary access just because JR, because he loves, like,
he gets into it. Like Wrestle Kingdom 9, that was the first New Japan event I watched because it was the first with English comment. And it was JR and Striker who did a wonderful job. But one of my personal highlights of 9, other than the fact event, was that as the show went on, JR was kind of, by the time you were hitting that last couple hours, sucked into it. His voice gave it away. He was into it. He was absorbed. He loved what he was watching. And it was the exact moment, where it happened, Kimura match.
Oh,
that was it. It all clicked for him, and his voice went from "I'm selling this" to "I fucking love this."
I he was on a podcast recently, and I listened. Like, he was a guest. It might have been the Not Sam podcast. But somebody was interviewing him anyway, and I was like, "Some GR, please, that would be lovely." And one of the questions that he was asked was if WWE bring him back as in talent relations, because he's there in New Japan all the time and other places, who would he bring in? And the last person he brought up was Omega, but then he started talking about Nakamura, how Nakamura had to be utilised better, because right now utilised, and you can just tell.
And I'm still hoping that they end up.
Oh, tell me about it. It'll be because AJ is so solidified now so quickly as well.
He's the man.
And everybody knows that that's the match we're waiting on. And I feel as if you don't know who Nakamura is, and you didn't watch NXT, New Japan or whatever else, and you've only heard, then all you've seen of Nakamura has been good, but it's not been as what the hype was. And I feel as if that, like, casual, I hate using the term casual, but like as Will said, that in NXT on the takeovers had no idea. Like, who watches wrestling and doesn't know who AJ Styles is? But like, but he was talking about how I feel as if that's the see if they like Nakamura or no. So I'd really love it to be at this year's Mania.
Right.
Let's see if they do it or not.
Although it'll come along and it'll be great. We've had a better hour-long year ago, 2 years ago.
And they're not going to get an hour.
They're not getting an hour. You'll be lucky if they get 40 minutes.
And
it's probably going to be half of that.
Yes,
it's
most likely
be a condensed
30 minutes or 40 minutes at most.
And but again, if you've not seen anything, 40 minutes are going to be amazing.
The other problem, and this is going back to last year, WrestleMania isn't for people that like WWE anymore. It's everybody's watching because it's an event, or so they believe, and it's turned into this sort of random would be popular as opposed to what would actually get. You seem to be going for that one-off weekend payday rather than trying for the year round.
That's the difference. See if you like 1,000 extra people for outside of, for earlier way of the world signed up for New Japan World for Wrestle Kingdom,
which is insane,
which is amazing. But if you watch that entire show, you're probably going to keep that subscription, and the pay-per-views coming up or the matches that you want to see, you're probably going to stick around. And that was the intention.
That's the thing, because it works out like what, £7 for British subscribers a month. The quality that you're getting, and not to mention the backlog of things, because New Japan have been really good about adding. See all the mini documentaries. There's documentaries going back from before Nakamura left. real lives with English subtitles. But adding stuff like that all the time is such a good idea. Because someone's going to watch Wrestle Kingdom and they're going to go, oh, I really like that Okada guy. What's the deal with him? They've got a documentary about him.
And the thing is we're so trained. Like, if you're a wrestling fan and maybe you only watched WWE, but Chris Jericho was going there, so I'll give him a 7. And then you did really like Okada, and then you go up, as his taught us, you go up and put in Okada in the search engine. If that documentary's up, you're probably going to watch it. Then you're going to go back and watch the matches that they're going to reference, or you're going to look up like top 10. Just watch it and that Okada's done. If you've never seen Okada up until this point, guys, just go back and watch this year alone, because they put so much emphasis on the fact that
it's not an exaggeration. Champion in history.
This was his year. But I don't care what anybody says. This year was Okada's year. Nobody was
absolutely
as consistent.
And all of that is there with English.
I kind of disagree.
For people to catch up.
Oh, who are you putting above
Naito?
Naito had a very good year.
Kirsty, here's the thing. The match between Naito and Okada was great, no doubt. But I was disappointed that he didn't win.
I mean,
because
absolutely.
Naito absolutely deserves it, but I know it takes longer. And I think the heavyweight title never changed at Wrestle Kingdom, right?
Yes, for about 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, that's why
the thing is, though,
had
see,
it's not
what this reminds me of, Okada himself. Look at Wrestle Kingdom 9. That was it. Everybody's going, he's the chosen one, he's going to be the ace, and he didn't win. And instead, you got this year-long story of him looking within himself and discovering what he needed to get that little bit extra. And that's what he did. Because going into 10, he was the champ, and he finally did it.
And New Japan is really set up the way that most wrestling companies used to be set up, where not everybody gets that title. Like, you can be as
Omega would have probably been the world champion had this been like 3 years ago. All this stuff was going on. He'd have had that by now. But you know what? He's that good they invented a title for him to get over.
Yeah.
Because there's not many people who can establish a title. Someone like Omega can do it.
And not many.
You get that world belt.
Not many non-Japanese wrestlers get over this much.
Yeah,
and
he doesn't need it.
One of his early matches with that US title to be against them bringing in fucking guy like this, because that's the thing, is 15,000 people signed up, and for them to say that was when Jericho versus Omega would be daft. Because anybody that was already in New Japan was already there for Naito versus Okada. We were already there and signed up. So the 15,000 people that influx were because of that match and that title guy that you made it. Like, it's just,
they're building up his fan base in the West, essentially.
Yeah.
He gets that belt, that's going to pop another bunch of subscriptions. But anyway, let's talk about the actual event, because that's what we're sort of here for.
And Martin, as you were saying, with building up Okada and all that, because they're doing the same thing with Naito right now, after they changed his gimmick, or his other character. Because before all of this, he was the Stardust Press genius. And now...
And what cost him? That was another very clever bit of storytelling.
I was about to bring it up, but go on.
Well, he goes for the Stardust Press.
Misses.
And it cost him the whole thing.
Oh.
And now things are going... See, this is what interests me. We all know when he had the Intercontinental belt, he was well, you know what? You guys didn't care about me, going back to the Wrestle Kingdom where he lost the fan vote. And he was pissed off, and he was tossing that belt about like a piece of crap. And we know fine well, if that Naito had won that belt the other day, the first thing he'd have done at New Year's Dash is lob it around, like, disrespect it. And now you've got this potential story with the outsider there who's trying to rile him up, and of course Naito no selling Jericho. I think this is going to be their way of Naito's pride back in New Japan.
Oh, that would be such... gone with
Great
the story.
storytelling. You've got this
I can see
outsider
that,
who's trying to destroy, and Naito's going to realise what he has, and that's going to be the turn for him to win that belt and treat it with the respect it deserves.
Just let the Stardust Genius go and just be
Yes.
100% Tranquilo.
And he'll have
and that'll
pride
be his year.
in what he did, and that's why come Wrestle Kingdom 13, I reckon he's going to be main eventing against Okada, and I reckon he's going
And
into there.
Okada announced it in his promo, so it's gonna happen.
Oh, it will happen, but I think Okada's drawn. Or Omega as a transitional champ.
See, I can see them, but then everybody thought that it was going to. But I feel with them inventing a title to add to the 88 they already had.
And now
they don't need it now.
So before we get into all this properly, let's actually talk about the event. You had your Rumble.
Yes.
Which again does what it does every year. The crowd into it, the legends come out, Cheeseburger goes to the last two.
I know.
I love that. Did you see the pop he got at New Year's Dash?
The crowd loves him.
Oh, they fucking love Cheeseburger. Like when he got tagged in. When he got tagged in, the crowd got to their feet and went mental. You hardly ever see Japanese crowds do this.
Cheeseburger.
It's good. Like I've seen before. Shows up and starts throwing the plushies out. Like people lose their shit. They love him, and I just think it's beautiful that this gimmick that everybody kind of low key rips the air here. Like he goes to Japan and he's a fucking superstar. It's beautiful. Favorite thing you see him like, get it Cheeseburger, get that Friday, sell t-shirts, son.
And at the end of the Rumble, the one and only had to cut a promo.
I just enjoyed it. It was just fun. It's always fun.
That's the thing about them, is when I realised that I'd missed the Rumble, the Ramble,
on Shin Nipples Pro Wrestling.
I was like, I'm going to...
Never fix that, Japan. Never fix that.
It's too late.
Nobody tell them. Nobody do it. But like when I realised, but the Bucks had just come out, so I was like, I'll go back and watch it, and I've totally... No, it's fun. I'll wait till I just want some easy wrestling, and then I'll stick it on and I'll watch it, because the others are just always fun, and you don't always get that in wrestling. You get a lot of other emotions, but
really don't anymore.
There's no enough. Like, there's no enough, and like WWE ripped the piss with their comedy matches for like 6 months out the year, which is why I think most people avoid it. But like some other places could, like Colt's a great example.
So seriously.
Which is why I think I love Kenny and the Bucks, because they take really do have fun, and when it's a serious match,
but they can just turn it. Not every team or not every wrestler can do that. Like, I mean, how many times like, even during that match at the Dome the other day, there was still those mouthing off and winding up and generally pissing about, but then a second
was Matt
you're in.
Kayfabe injured or actually injured?
Kayfabe. It was a bit of storytelling.
Because it was just when I was totally convinced it was fake, but there was a wee moment where he puts his horn out and he says to him, like, just enter the thing, and I was like, aye, and it pure made me doubt it. I was like, because he put what happened was Nick went to tag him in, and Matt took his horn away and just was like, nope, we're not doing this, and Nick done some other shit. And I didn't pick up on it until Martin sent me a thing. And I was like, oh no, but wait, was he injured or was it kayfabe? And I've just been silently thinking, like, because I've not heard anything, I was like, it must be kayfabe. Like, they're probably having...
Of course it was kayfabe.
But it was beautiful for people who say that they can't sell. They had me doubting.
Oh, even when the event was
wait, guys, wait. Mind that time Nick Jackson tweeted me and no Kirsty directly?
That's alright, I was mentioned.
Sorry, continue.
During the event, I saw so many people on Twitter like, oh yeah, it was a good match, but no, they no-sold everything. Shut up!
I know.
You don't know
yeah,
how
I'm
to
sitting
sell.
here going, but injured though? Question mark.
Of course he was. Come on. I mean, I like that you got into that much, but we haven't. I can't remember if it was Shaw or Yo. I can never remember what one's what.
They have
But-
marvellous hair. That's all
Oh,
I
aye,
look at.
it's splendid hair. But
It's a blue hair
because he had,
myself.
I actually thought he had legit hurt his back because of that landing, and of course, you know,
Oh God,
he
aye.
didn't.
And
But
then he
because
was
it was
up-footing.
his back, and then he did that kicking spot, that was your giveaway.
I suppose
When that was some fucking stiff
I
shot.
know
Oh,
the noise. Like
oh.
Matt wasn't watching it live with me, because he'd fell asleep because we've not been well as best people know.
Aye.
He'd fell asleep and he was like, just continue watching it. But he just kind of like sat his head up and looked at me and went, was that getting kicked? And I was like, aye, it was. And he went, alright, and just put his head back down. But I love the fact that it, like, the sound it woke him up and he just confusedly
You were
looked at me
fucking
going,
hard.
what the fuck was that noise? I was like, I better put my headphones on if he's going to go for a nap. Because it's only going to get louder, let's be honest. But aye,
A
it was
great
such
match
splendid-
again. They had, like, the Bucks had a reply to everyone who's criticised their style. They can't tell a story, it's just a spot fest. Well, they told a story. The spots were used as part of telling the story. They can't sell, they sold very well.
Yep.
To the point where people are saying, oh, but they're overselling. You just can't win. If
That's
there's
what
people that
annoys
are that
me.
determined to bring them down because they've been so successful in 2016 and 2017. And you just can't win. And it's not like they're going out there to try and please those people. They know they've got their massive audience. I mean, if you look at that crowd,
they know who they're selling to.
if you look at that crowd and you see the t-shirts and hoodies and that, you've got the New Japan Lion, you've got the Bullet Club t-shirts, you've got a lot of Los Ingobernables stuff, and then the next biggest lot of stuff is people in Young Bucks gear.
Like fully decked out in
Aye.
Young Bucks gear, like
Everywhere.
borderline cosplay.
Aye.
Because Japan's awesome. I want to go to Japan so badly.
I need to go to Wrestle Kingdom one year.
I'll tell me about it. But that's the thing, is like, for years all the Bucks and Kenny have heard is you don't take yourself seriously enough. And last year the point for me where I was like, it's never going to be good enough.
Did you guys see Nick Jackson's tweet today about that some size of bingo hall?
No, I didn't, but
Sadly,
that's
I
It was
missed that
them
one.
in front of the giant screen on the stage, or one of the giant screens on the stage, and they are tiny in this photo because the screens are
Yeah.
that fucking big. Aye, some bingo hall there, Jim.
Oh, yeah. I think this is where like 90% of my love comes from for them, is the fact that they really hate him too, and it makes
No,
me
they
feel
don't
valid.
know. They've always
know they
tried
don't.
to be perfectly civil with the guy.
But
It's
he's
just
a
that
dick.
he's trying to make his name off them. That's
He's
what
a
it is.
fucking psychopath.
Yeah, he knows to make his money, he just has to say stupid shit, and he does. And, you know,
My New Year's resolution is to try and ignore him as much as possible.
that's a good thing to do, and I think we should apply that to the show. Hilarious about Vince Russell, because there is a shit pecking order, and Russell is at the bottom as far as I'm concerned.
Oh no, for me it is Cornette. Like, he is the worst.
No, Cornette is the second worst.
So see, well, that's like me and Flo, where whose year was it? Naito Okada. Like, they're up there.
Yeah.
They're down there. It's just depends on who you want to punch in the face more. But for me, it was when Kenny was getting told that he was overselling last year. After I literally remember like the same guy tweeting out about a month before that Kenny never sold enough and that he was too goofy sometimes. And then after that match at last year's Wrestle Kingdom, they said they were like he sold too much, and I was like, you were just complaining.
It's just not satisfying people.
Oh, it's just, I was like, do you know what? You don't like him, and I'm done trying to convince you. If you want to just be angry at the best thing in wrestling,
I mean, why would you not just want to enjoy yourself? And I don't mean this
Yeah.
about Kenny in particular. I mean about all wrestling. There's any of these people going, that's shite. I don't like how the Bucks did this now. I don't like how Bullet Club keep adding blah, blah, blah. Just fucking shut up and just enjoy it. You might actually have a smile on your face. Like, by all means, see if they did something dumb, I'd call them out on it. But you know what? They've not done anything that makes you go, what's wrong with you? Why would you do this?
I see for all the actually fucked up shit that happens in wrestling, there's no reason to be fucking screaming at the Bucks when they're just two guys
who have clearly found themselves an audience.
That are just, and they're going and selling to that audience and making money. Like,
and then they're winning over more people all the time.
And they're opening doors. Like, that Hot Topic deal wouldn't be there without the Bucks.
They're outselling Rick and Morty, which has the worst fan base in the world, let's be honest. As good as fun as Rick and Morty, as good and fun as Rick and Morty can be, and I do enjoy it, the fan base are fucking atrocious, but they spend money on everything. And yet somehow the Bucks, of all people, have outsold these giant man babies.
Like, it just goes to show you, because Rick and Morty's an internet-based show as well. Like, and technically that's what wrestling is these days. Your biggest market is on the internet, because all children now have iPhones. So, like, everybody's there. So, for us to go against, like, for Bullet Club to go against this global, like, is it Netflix it's on? I don't fucking watch it.
Well, it's Netflix here, it's Sci-Fi in the States. Not Sci-Fi, Adult Swim, sorry, in the States.
Okay.
Right,
so it's got a damn big
aye.
Audience following it, but for Bullet Club, who, you know, oh, well, wrestling's niche, blah, blah, blah. And for us to be told, oh, it's for idiots, it's, you know, people don't spend their money on it, there's nobody really likes it that much, it's a small audience. For them to go and then outsell the show, which is fair to say is the biggest merchandise whore in history, because with Rick and Morty, they have new shit out for the episode that's been on 2 days before. Because it's just one big cynical merch machine.
Like fucking, like they're made hell ready for shit. Like they're on the fucking ball constantly with their stuff.
It just does my head in, because, you know, it's less about the show and more about making money off the retards. But for then Young Bucks to go and, like, they're not on TV every week anywhere. And for them to go ahead and do that just
unless
because...
you're part of the 1 million people a week that watch ROH.
But being the elite, okay, it's usually once a week on YouTube, usually. But for them to... They don't have TV channels behind them. They don't have New Japan's merchandise wing advertising for them all the time. They don't have any of that. It's just word of mouth.
Although,
and then they get and people see them on YouTube or New Japan World or whatever.
Like, what they've done is amazing, but
it's unprecedented.
Completely
unprecedented.
Like, they're completely, like, the Bucks always say they took what Colt done and just made it bigger.
Yes,
pretty much.
Because, which, like, I feel as if in like 20-year time, people are going to talk about Colt Cabana as this like pure guy that just proved.
Do you know? I actually almost feel bad for Colt, because he was the first to do the podcast. He was the first to use the internet and the way everybody now is. And yet all you hear is how, well, Stone Cold was really the first podcast, wasn't he? No,
he wasn't.
Wow. Was he? Colt had been doing it 5 years before him.
But Colt was the first one to document themselves on the road as well with like, the Wrestling Road Diaries.
Absolutely.
But Colt just always seems dead proud of them. He's like, we could fucking do it, guys. Look at them go.
Aye.
Like, we just had to work out how. And the thing is this is how wrestling was always done. Like, before WWE just smashed everything and made it one big fucking corporation. Like, you, as a wrestler, all you had was your name, your tunes that you were making, and your merchandise. And that was, you went out and you sold. Like, people used to go with like bags upon bags of signed 8x10s, and the Bucks still do that.
Oh, absolutely.
All they've done is went, how did it used to work? Like, if you're no in WWE, how do you
about earlier? No other sport or entertainment thing can you see a team or individuals main event or at least have a featured match on a show that draws almost 50,000 people, but the next like 2 weeks, a month later, they're in a wee place because they know how important it is to build the grassroots. That's what their money's based off of. Like, I mean, last month I met them and it was a show in front of not even a full 1,000 people. Yet 4 weeks later, in front of 48,000 people in one of the biggest places in the world,
Like,
doing their thing, you
you're
know.
no seeing like Beyonce and
You want to see
Kim
the Foo Fighters play the Barras
I like it's
one
just
week and then play the O2 in London the week
that's
after.
just
It's not going
not
to happen.
how things work. But I kind of love that, but especially indie wrestling because that's the
That's
only
my
place it
favourite
really
thing
happens.
about wrestling is that this happens. Like I met the Bucks last week, but now the Bucks are off doing this and having their way paid by big companies and super rich fans. But I know further on in the year they're going to be back here because
Building
this is
on
how they make
this.
their money. They've built up this personal connection, and it makes these big events that much sweeter. Because look at Marty Scurll, right? His entrance at Wrestle Kingdom with the
He
wings
made
and all
that
that.
himself.
Which was
Oh.
a fucking nightmare to do because he had to get all this stuff together. He's in Japan, he doesn't speak Japanese. He's
It was like the
backstage
night
on his own
before.
building the shit.
Like the night before because they were doing the dress rehearsal.
Yes.
And what he had built for the dress rehearsal would not work, and he tweeted out time for plan B, and it was him sitting sewing or doing something to these wings, but you couldn't quite see what it is, so it was a bit of a surprise. But it's fucking impressive.
But my point is, a month ago, he was, shaking everybody's hand and getting photos and making sure that he spoke to them, that he took a few minutes for each person.
Yep.
And it's that much sweeter seeing him do all this graft, travel everywhere, put all that effort in, and then you get to see him go out there and have his moment, and it feels so much better because you know him as a person.
And then to look at this
little
back,
bit. And it's cool seeing a wrestler you like getting to do their thing, don't get me wrong. But when it's someone who's taken 5 minutes to shake your hand and say thank you for the
seeing
support.
Cody this year after meeting him and seeing him just go out and do what he really loves doing, and to know that again, I met him twice within 6 months because every time they came back, he was happy to do the signings and stuff. And to see him going on and just doing shit that he really loves, but he's also getting paid for it, and it's also this massive thing, and because it's Wrestle Kingdom, it's just really fucking cool. And it's their time to really have fun and go all out in the way that they would love to do every single day if they could. For Wrestle Kingdom, it's my favourite thing about wrestling. Also,
it just makes everything so much more satisfying.
Yep.
The line at
really
the start, when Marty popped the wings out on his thing, and I can't remember what commentator it was, but one of them said, "Those wings are made from the broken fingers of his opponent." It fucking made me, because it was so quick, and I was like, he had that planned. Somebody like Marty wrote that for him, or because it was so quick, it was instantaneously. I was like, this commentary, I think I said that about 6 times in our chat. I was like, the commentary tonight has been absolutely fucking amazing.
But again, by the way, here's an obscure Wrestle Kingdom fact. Since Wrestle Kingdom 9, Toru Yano has won his match every year. Of all the people on the fucking card, the wee thieving Japanese gypsy guy is the one that is undefeated. Toru.
But the really beautiful thing about that though is that the Japanese fans will take the storyline of him being that wee disrespectful cheating person and be like,
wee shite and love it.
They'll be like, it's not even proper wins, that will get proper heat because none of the big legit guys who do it properly would. It's just that I don't know if that was an accident, but even if it was, it's the most perfect accident to happen.
He's so fucking lovable, the little thieving bastard.
I know, he's the best. If I had to choose a wee thieving bastard, it would be that
it'd be Toro every time. Have you ever seen any clips for his DVDs with Chaos?
No.
Right, each DVD will have a theme. He always has them do karaoke as well. Now bear in mind, who's in Chaos over the years? Okada, Nakamura,
I
all
need
these.
to see this.
Well, and all this, they're on YouTube, right? There's one year where it was Toru Yano's classroom, and they were all students, and you got Ishii dressed with like the big giant wig on, like the tall Japanese punk hair and all this, being like chewing gum and being a prick. And all the lessons, like, can you do these maths? You get it wrong. He smacked fuck at them with his pointer and all this. But do you know what my favourite thing about all these DVDs is?
Nah.
Every single one of them, Okada is always in the corner pissing himself laughing because he finds Toru Yano to be the funniest man ever. He fucking loves him.
That is absolutely beautiful.
This kid gets corpsing.
Even
to
the
a
press
whole other
conferences,
level.
right? There was a press conference, I think it was just during the G1, they're talking about the time, and talking about the matches that are coming up for their particular group. And Yano's there going, I will probably lose this, but I will make sure to steal the wallets of each man I am up against. I lose in spirit, I will gain financially. And next to him in the background, you just see Okada trying to hold in the laughter, going, like tears coming out his eyes. It's great. I love those two. I just see those two together. They're the best thing. They really are. Anyway, my point is Toru Yano's great.
I want to see these. I want to see all of these now.
I love that they keep teaming them with Ishii. Because there's no better odd couple in wrestling. You've got this wee fat bar owner who steals from people. You've got this, like, and then when he gets caught, Ishii comes in to, like, go, you're not going to touch this, boy.
I used to stare at the muscle in case his pal gets fucking jumped.
You're not putting a finger on him, son.
Not this time, my friend.
Yes, Mr. Ishii, sir. Whatever you say, Mr. Ishii, sir.
I would not fuck with that man.
No, not at all. And that's why I love that they all have that similar sense of humour as well.
Mm.
They're all just stupid bastards.
Oh.
So anyway, back to the event. The tag match was really fun. Right, so the junior tag was great. The tag gauntlet for the heavyweight tag belts. Again, I've only seen bits of this because of the house guest from hell. Anyway, but from what I watched of it, I really enjoyed.
Oh yes,
but
I really enjoyed it too. It was a lot of fun.
I'm going to go back and rewatch some of this. What I wanted to ask you guys about is what you thought of Jay White up against Tanahashi.
Actually, to talk
I know
about
we're
this,
skipping through here, but it's more like, we've already been here enough. People have work to do today. We need to get to the talking points.
I first have to say that overall, Wrestle Kingdom for me was a 9 out of 10. Why only 9 and not 10 is because of the Jay White and Tanahashi match. Because that was a solid match, but nothing wow.
I don't think it achieved what Tanahashi wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
Something
because Tana is all about building up the new talent just now.
Yep.
And he does a wonderful job of it, but I don't quite think it
clicked.
clicked.
And Jay too, but somehow this didn't quite work.
But what I will say though is this is really Jay White's first proper match as the Switchblade.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, when I was going to call him Mini Tanahashi, when you had the other Tanahashi coming in as the time bomb, Hiromu.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the ticking time bomb thing. People weren't too sure what to make of it at first, but after a couple of months, he settled into the role, and now we've got one of the best wrestlers anywhere, one of the best gimmicks.
Yep.
Even and all he had to do was add Daryl.
Daryl happened, and everybody was like, "Do you know what people love? Cat."
Yes, and do you know what else I like about it? Because when he brought in that character, it made it gave new sides to the other wrestlers in Los Ingobernables, because we all know that Naito, if he was presented with a guy who had a fucking cat toy, he'd be very dismissive of it. But because it's his friend, because it's his stablemate, when something happens to Daryl, it pisses him off.
Because he knows it's going to hurt him.
Aye, and he's not going to fucking have that. So when Fally ripped Daryl apart, Naito flipped and went crazy.
Was going to kill him.
Exactly.
Is they treat Fally because he's height and his size as this fucking monster. Like just don't fuck with him. It's a bad idea. So when Naito just flips out this fucking cat of all things, this toy cat that's been ripped up,
Aye.
as if he's just murdered fucking like his brother. It was, it's the dedication to the
Yes.
fuckery. That's what I love about it. It's
Exactly,
the best.
because it was a good gimmick, and the best gimmicks in New Japan add these facets to the other characters. Like, that's a side of
Yep.
Naito you'd never see. And Evil and Sonata and all that, you know. But it's early days for Switchblade. We don't know where he's going to go with the gimmick. We do know now that he's joined Chaos.
Yep.
Aye, we do.
And what I quite liked about this was how he was saying, I'm going to come for your title. I don't know why she hasn't beat you up for your title yet, but right now I need someone to cover my back against these assholes. Because he knows the Elite at least are coming for him after the events of New Year's Dash. So he was upfront about it, and we've never really seen a character like that before in New Japan, where they've went, I'm joining your stable, but I don't trust you. I just happen to trust you more than him. I know you don't want to fight me right now, so let's take advantage of that. We'll team up, we'll deal with them, then me and you can have a word.
I think all he needed the new was to come in and have a solid, really well-received match.
Well,
because it was his first match back after his excursion.
Exactly. They didn't really need to worry so much about making them. Just establish them. And I'm not sure that match really worked.
He's a threat.
I mean, I think on any other card, it would still be thought of as a good match, but because of the quality that we're dealing with.
But
because of when it was on the card as well.
Everyone expected more.
Yeah.
I think I did as well.
I
but
think that was a bit unfair,
as a
really.
Face. I've watched him as a babyface this whole year because
that's all he's been. Because he was a wee guy.
I've only seen him as a babyface, so for him to all of a sudden switch to being this heel, he's got to work out who he is as a heel character. Like, who is Switchblade? We don't know. Let's just hope we don't end up with Dolph Ziggler, where 10 years down the life we still don't know. But I trust New Japan.
He's in the right place for it. What I was going to say, see his promos the other day. When
you were a fan.
See the other day when they were having the promo, and it sounded to me like he was trying to sound like he thinks a tough wrestler should sound like, until, after he said his bit, and it sounded kind of over-rehearsed, and then Tanahashi spoke in English saying he was going to kick his ass, and the one thing that Jay said, where I thought, you know what, there's a bit of hope for this guy, is when he said, I'm going to fucking or I'm going to fucking kill you tomorrow, old man, or whatever it was. That little throwaway line, that was it. That was the moment where I've seen what they see in him.
And that's the thing, see, he's a babyface, he's fucking fantastic. Like, he had I think it was his first match in ROH. Didn't have a promo or anything. I've not really heard him talk a lot. Like, maybe that's why, because when you're just starting, I don't need a whole lot.
It's one of the things the young lions don't really get to.
It's something they don't get, and that's what I'm saying. Even in ROH, he didn't get a lot of mic time. Like, the first match, he came in and somebody tried to slap him about, and he done some wrestling, and it looked really good, and I was like, that one, more of him, please. And then early year, I've seen more and more and seen him grow, into this babyface character that was still kind of in its infancy anyway. Yeah. So for him all of a sudden to be thrown into this heel character, I was really excited, because I'm like, I love him, and then I was like, why? You've never done this before. Like, this character side, but as a wrestler, he's absolutely sound. So I'm willing to give him the time to grow into whoever Switchblade is. And again, that throwaway line was the throwaway line was what made me go, we might be okay. This might actually work out, because trying to change your gimmick in New Japan can be a death sentence sometimes.
Well, they've been very careful about it, but we need to see where it goes. I don't think it's fair to judge the character yet.
No.
Because we don't know much about him. But I like what they've done so far.
Yeah.
Having them join up with Chaos, but not really, properly join in like the other members. Like, Okada was very wary of the hug, which put him over more than the hugging him would have, because Okada now sees, now, Okada looks at him and sees a threat. That's put him over more than any words could.
And for Okada to take a look and step back to say, who's this guy?
Hold on a minute, I need to keep eyeing him. And Okada doesn't exactly shrink away from a challenge.
No, this year anyway.
No.
This year has
So
been
I think
incredible.
that was a very smart move of doing it. That said, I would like to see him and Tanahashi have another go round
Same. I'd like them to
it's
build
gonna
this.
happen.
a few months down the line.
Yeah, but because right now it's most likely going to be Minoru versus Tanahashi.
Yeah. And by the looks of things, Jay's probably going to move on to the US title.
Which I'm
in the short
excited
term.
to see what him and Kenny can do together.
I think
Oh.
in terms of, learning your role and learning how to be a bad guy, Kenny's probably one of the best people they could have thrown him in with right now. He's going to learn a lot from...
And the fact he's a foreigner who's
Yes.
been really successful, it's a
Exactly.
really good idea to put... I know he's a young boy and they'll see him the same way if he does go up the ranks, like, because he's been there since Fergal's been there.
Aye.
Like, he came in, like, I've seen, because as I said, that first night in ROH, I was like, who is this guy? And then put into YouTube Jay White, and one of the first ones that come up was like very baby Fergal and very baby Jay White, and they were on the commentary on the subtitles. It was like, apparently, according to YouTube anyway, I'm not going to hold my breath, but like something about the like Jay had just come in and Fergal had been training for a while, so that Fergal was the favourite, blah blah blah. But they had like a nice wee match. But and that was like why I was like, my God, he's been there for a fair run about then, and that was obviously before Fergal went to WWE, so he's been there for a good solid 4 or 5 years. But that's just been wrestling, so I'm no surprised with him that he's wrestling solid, because New Japan won't let you go out there if you're a danger. Like you will learn to be a good wrestler, then we'll talk about character and everything else.
Yep. The right way to do it.
Of course it is. And so I went off on this Jay White tangent, but I give him a chance, is what I'm saying. I did like him.
And I liked the whole setup with on New Year's Bash when Kenny came out and just had a go at Cody for doing not the right thing, I guess. So, and then moving on to talk to Switchblade. Come, join us. And then
join the Bullet Club.
I was convinced at that when he put the shirt on that he would actually join Bullet Club.
Yeah.
And then he just gave Kenny that out of nowhere, and I was like, whoa.
The Blade Runner. Yeah, I'm very intrigued. I want to see where it goes. The guy's got plenty of time.
Yep.
Aye.
Lots of potential. Like I say, I didn't really get it until he had that one line at the end of his promo time with Tana, and I've seen it. This guy could go places, and I hope he does. But that's what this year's going to be about for him.
Aye. It's finding that character.
Since we dealt with that title match, let's get to Alpha versus Omega.
We know how to talk about Cody versus Kota.
I was about to say we should
talk
about that first, because
it was a good match.
That
Brandy looked
Crossroads.
That Crossroads had me pausing for a hot second, because I just had to take a minute and pray that he was fine.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
I know.
And I only could tell after the replay when I saw, oh God, good God, he landed with his head on Cody's arm. Thank God.
It was disgusting.
Jesus.
And yet amazing.
It was one of the weird moments in wrestling where as a fan you're in shock, like horror, but and in awe. So you're just staring.
That was incredible. Absolutely incredible. Though, see Cody, he's kind of unfairly got this reputation, at least in the US over the past year, of he's like a B-level guy, even though he's main event in Ring of Honor. I disagree, personally.
I think he's great.
I think he's good. I think he's where he should be. He should be main event in Ring of Honor, and it's not in any way a bad thing that they've put him up there. It's not a come down for Ring of Honor in any way. I don't understand where this talk's coming from. That said, him and Ibushi didn't really do it for me. It had some amazing spots. It wasn't a bad match. That's not what I'm saying. Just there's something I don't know. I was expecting something bigger from the two of them. Like, this was their moment to go out and prove a point. Like, why are we in the mid card when we should be nearer the top? And I just don't think they've shown
See,
what
for
they're
me,
capable of.
what I loved about it was the continued storyline with Cody's issue with Kerry. For me, was the point of the match.
I know, but the match itself, like, they did some insane spots, like the Crossroads, but
That triangle
something,
moonsault makes me the happiest person alive.
there's something, I don't know, I was expecting more of a breakout from them, and I
Right.
didn't get that feeling. Like, this was their moment to go, well, why aren't we in for the belts? Why are you leaving us here? We're almost an afterthought now that the Ring of Honor title isn't part of it. And they just didn't feel like, to me, like they proved they're deserving of that kind of attention.
I disagree, because the match was everything I wanted to see. And it, at least in my opinion, showed
Yeah, I
that
mean, it
they
was a
are
good
main eventers.
match, but I just don't think they've got they grabbed the attention the way that I was expecting them to.
Do you think it was a chemistry thing?
I don't know. I really can't put my finger on it. I'm struggling to describe it, to be honest. I'm amazed I've
You
managed
just
to
know. I
describe
know
it
what
as
you
well as
mean.
I can.
Sometimes you just watch a match and there's just something
Missing.
no there. I get what you're saying. I'm just because I really enjoyed. I mean,
I did enjoy it, but there's at no point did I go, well, that match has proved to me that these two should be challenging for the US or the Intercontinental or whatever. You know, they still feel like utility guys just now. Like, if somebody gets injured, you could bring them in to cover. Rather than go,
pushing
these
for
are the
main
people who
eventers.
should be in those positions right now.
Aye.
But
Well, fair enough.
anyway.
I enjoyed it. I really liked the continuation because there's this story that's brewing, both on being the elite and mainly New Japan, with Cody and Kenny. Because if you watch Being the Elite,
well, they teased it in Being the Elite for how long?
Oh, at least tried to kill him twice.
Exactly.
They're not being subtle on Being the Elite, but they never are. But like twice, I want to say twice now in New Japan, because the first time he tried to throw the towel in,
yes,
during Kenny's match, and then last night he grabbed Kota, who was Kenny's tag team partner in DDT, wasn't it?
The Golden Lovers.
The Golden Lovers, and he screamed at him, Kenny doesn't love you like I love you, which I have no idea what this means.
And then, of course, Kenny stopped that whole thing from going down. Why are you beating up Kota? He's my pal. Or is he? I think part of it is that Kenny wants Kota at 100% for the rematch, rather than him saving Kota because they're buddies.
Look,
you know?
You can look at that whatever way you want to. I really like this brewing storyline where, for some reason, Cody keeps trying to murder Kenny. And just really wants to destroy his entire career, because it makes watching these things, when they throw the wee tidbits in there, even if it's just a reference for Being the Elite, it really makes me happy.
Oh, aye.
I'm still not sure if Kenny is a face now or heel.
He's a tweener.
He came out as fucking Anubis.
Osiris.
Was it no Anubis he came out as?
Osiris. It was the same god as Osiris as well.
And
it was Destiny too.
Yeah, Destiny cosplay.
I never got that DLC because I refused to give them any of my fucking money.
I've just deleted it off my PlayStation. Baby, it was supposed to be the Vigilance Wing gun and he's dressed as Osiris.
Alright, I thought he was dressed as Anubis, but my bad. Still fucking Yas.
Aye.
Even merrier Yas if it was a Destiny reference, even if I'm in a bad mood with it now, because fuck Bungie.
So,
aye.
Just to get this out there, Kenny, if you stop wrestling at some point, just go into cosplay, please.
He probably would.
He'd probably just make himself a Twitch channel, let's be honest. And we'd all watch it.
Pretty much.
But that match, I don't know what I expected for it, but that fucking... Does he need a minute?
Well, anyway, Alpha and Omega.
I didn't expect much only because I know it is Y2J and the Omega, but still I was not ready for this.
I
because-
would, I knew it was going to be good, right? Because they had a point to prove. Because it was such an out of the box match, and they just dragged in 15,000 people, so you better at least be good. Like, I knew it was going to be good, but holy fuck, I didn't expect what that match was. Like, how many times did Kenny bang his head off a chair?
Like
Because
4 or 5 times, at least.
I was, oh, it makes me physically want to vomit, but for some reason,
You know what?
it didn't make me
Kirsty,
turn the match off.
Kirsty, the
Which
thing that
usually an open chair shot will.
Kirsty, the thing that I felt more than the chair shots is always Kenny's V trigger. Like,
Oh.
He looked as if he was trying to like clean take his head off his
I
shoulders
know.
with that thing. Like, you know how when you've got like a golf ball on a tee and then the like slow motion show you them hitting the ball? That's
Aye.
what Kenny's V trigger was trying to achieve, and they murdered each other.
It was great. Now, here's a controversial thought. Well, I say controversial, I just mean somebody would probably moan for me bringing it up. So, you have never watched New Japan before. You hear that Chris Jericho's having this match with Kenny.
Mm.
They have this unique build-up, which hasn't been seen since the 80s territory days in the States.
Mhm.
You watch this match, and what we got was fantastic. I enjoyed every second of it. It was worth the wait, right?
Yep.
So please don't think this is me having a go at it.
Look at
If
you.
you've never watched New Japan before, right,
Sorry.
you have no idea what those matches are like. And you've seen these two guys have a brawl and basically knock fuck out each other for all over
for the first
the
20
arena
minutes.
floor and all that. They didn't have a New Japan match, and you watch that and you think, that's fucking amazing! And you've not bothered with any of the rest of it. You got that just to see Jericho, and then you think, well, maybe I'll stick about and watch more of this. How many people do you think are going to be pissed off that none of the other matches are like
Well, if they are, there's always CZW.
that? No, because CCW is the good.
CCW
No, but
is
if you're just
torture
wanting
for
people-
wrestlers.
I
I've
get
just
it's really
seen-
sadistic, right?
As an advert for New Japan, it failed.
But it
As a
wasn't meant
match,
to
it was
be-
fucking amazing.
It was meant to be this, like, almost seen as a fucking, like, he's a New Japan guy,
Mhm.
versus this fucking guy who was
Invader.
in Japan. Aye, but he was this, like, WWE guy, and they really put that air, like, constantly. I mean, they only spoke about stuff for, like, 2000 and, like, just after and just before, and then Shawn Michaels. They didn't mention anything he's done lately, but to be honest, other than the Kevin stuff, what would you mention?
Yeah.
I just thought I'd bring it up, just to be a wank.
Like, no, I can see your point. Like, if you were Will, and like we
Aye.
get Will, that Will is like that is like Wrestle Kingdom's everything, and New Japan's great, and then he only goes and watches that match, and then goes to try, and then maybe tries to watch the end of the show, and then watches that like, the next match and go, that isn't what I expected after that
Aye.
first match. But what people have got to understand was this match was special because that never happens.
Yep.
Mhm.
Like on that entire card, where did you see like open head chair shots? Where did like you didn't see not even a lot of blood? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where there's Kenny's just spitting away at everybody. Like at one point there was just a random dot of Kenny's blood on Jericho's arse. And it was like there was no blood anywhere else.
So
But there was
that's
this bit
what
of
you
blood on his
spotted.
arse. And I was
I
just
thought there was
like-
other way around. I was sitting there shouting, "Don't get arse blood on you, son! Don't get arse blood
Like
on
I
you!"
was just like, how the fuck that 1 week? Like that's not important to anything, but it just popped into my head and it really annoyed me for like a solid
Are
5
you
minutes.
sure he didn't actually get cut there? Because I thought he did.
Maybe he did, but like I just like because Kenny was like the heavy bleeder,
Yeah.
I just assumed it was Kenny's blood, and I was like, how did no other bit of his leg has blood on him, but that one spot on his arse? How? How?
I mean, at some point I thought Chris bit his lips or something because he had blood on his teeth. But that
Oh, he
was-
did.
wasn't-
He did. That was something happened there towards the middle of the match,
Yeah,
and he was bleeding out his mouth for the rest of it.
I
it
but I
disappeared
like
later
the
on, but
they murder. Well, to be fair, if he bleeds any longer than like autumn flow, more than 10 minutes, then we need to immediately take him to the hospital because he's got blood clotting.
Yeah.
So they had like a fucking 40-minute match. So I would hope so, unless get him to an emergency room immediately. Stop hitting him with things because this is very bad. But obviously he was fine.
But my point that I actually wanted to make was, holy fuck, that was worth every bit of the build-up.
So fuck. I just that even when they said it was going to be a no DQ, I was like, but
it worked in context though. After that press conference.
Oh, aye.
And I
totally got it, but I didn't expect it to be any more than tables, like chairs, like kendo sticks. I didn't really, not even kendo sticks, but like things that were just flying around, like barricades. They were going to use the stuff through that fucking jump into that fucking announcer's desk. And they took out the commentary and everything. It was so real. Like, I don't know if they planned to knock out the commentary.
I think they were going for Don, since he'd been part of the build-up,
But like, I don't know if they've not taken out the commentary team, but in terms of us not being able to have English commentary for 5 minutes, like because it was pure muffled.
Maybe.
Well, it literally meant that the match spoke for itself for us, though, which I really liked.
I just feel as if that one spot with all the chaos that ensued it, and them complaining about it just added something. There was like New Japan's never hokey, and it's never. But it took it to the next level. Holy shit, this is like real, even though it's kayfabe. But it just felt so much more real, and it was amazing. I was so happy because I was at work. The time I'd get home and sat down and made myself a cup of tea, as I said, that Jericho match was already happening. So I was trying to watch the rest of New Japan while people were just blowing up my phone going, have you watched it yet? Have you watched it yet? I'm like, fuck, I ended up tweeting out, like, guys, you will know when I have watched this fucking match.
I mean,
and then,
you just have to take a look at my timeline to see what I had to say about the match.
People, I was like, guys, I had fucking work to 10:30, right? It started at 8, I've missed 2 hours, give me a fucking chance. But it was just, by the time I got to it, I literally had to just pause it and just reply to everybody, just screaming.
I'm ready.
I even turned into Matt, because by this point Matt had woke up. I was like, I cannot wait to shout about this match. It's just the best thing. I think still don't know what my favourite match is.
I'll be very surprised if that match gets topped in the first half of the year at least.
For everything, for build, for actual match,
storytelling.
For storytelling.
I'm not going to say it won't be. I'm just going to say
it's possible,
unlikely.
But it's hard.
It's going to be tough because that exceeded expectations.
That was incredible.
But what I really love,
I really would not mind a rematch somewhere down the line that's more wrestling focused.
Well,
I think we might get it.
Is the entire for the first 20 minutes, I was like, they're not actually going to wrestle. I was like, holy shit.
The other thing I was going to say, when you look at Kenny's tweet saying there were no clear winners.
That's what's. I'm like, are we doing it again?
Just a little hint. I think they have to. Do you know what I actually do think? See when New Japan goes back to LA, because they're already building that.
Yes.
Because it's a very big deal to them. I think that's going to headline one of the nights, possibly the last night.
That'd be fucking cool.
And people
when they started wrestling, it just took it to when beating each other up. Just none of them were going to get in on just brute force. They were going to have to use actual skill that did not involve whacking something. That just kicked it into another gear because there was such determination behind the two of them. It looked like they detested each other and just wanted each other to go away. And it was fabulous.
Aye.
And to think that some people didn't believe the rumor. I don't say it's a rumor because it was basically confirmed a few weeks ago that Chris is staying in New Japan for a few months.
But he stopped and because for a while he was vehemently denying it's one match, guys, and then
until he actually said, I never said I was just there for one match.
But if he was like, he did. He said it 3 times.
I know, and he said, did he say that? And
I was like, I pure doubted myself for a second, and I was like, wait, and then I was like, no, I even tweeted
he
it,
did say
I
it,
remember
but then he said that he didn't say it.
because he's a fucking cunt. But I fucking motherfucker will fuck with your mind.
Oh,
But
and
I never
I-
seen this announcement, obviously, so you can talk about the announcement. But I'm fucking hyped.
Kirsty, I have to bring another thing up that happened this morning. Some people, Chris said something on Instagram or Twitter, I don't know where it was,
Oh yeah,
about
yeah.
Benoit and his family.
Right, hold on, before we get into it, what he'd posted originally was he was dedicating
Okay.
the match to his fallen brothers, and there's a picture
Ah,
that someone had drawn. It was Jericho in the middle, Benoit on the left
Yeah.
of it, and Eddie on the right.
And they kind of looked like angels.
Yes.
yes.
Which was
So
a lovely drawing.
it was a lovely drawing, but I'm not going to say it was a good idea. Look, he's close to the situation. It's none of my business. It was up to him what he did with it. That's it.
That's the
I'm not
thing,
even
though.
going to fucking touch that.
The way I look at it is he has always said that he doesn't agree with what happened, but what people need to understand is that's still one of his best pals,
Aye.
and he's
Yep.
still grieving that situation and still trying to understand it. And fair enough, he's doing it in the public eye, but we knew publicly they were pals, and he's never denied that, and he's never
Yes.
turned on him either. He's always
No,
been like,
he's never glorified it. He's only ever
No.
spoke about him as he knew him, which is
Aye.
all you
Yep.
can do.
and the thing is, like, as horrible and as like terrible as everything is, on Chris's half, he's just a grieving pal, and whether you
Mhm.
liked his pal or no,
He's still trying to understand it. You can't blame him.
aye, and you can see that because every so often he'll bring it up either in his book or he'll like last year on the anniversary he brought was it Benoit? It was Nancy's
Well, he did
sister.
that podcast with Meltzer where they spoke about
Ah.
the matches
Well, they done
and
that,
went
but he
over his
also
career.
done he also done a interview with, I can't remember if it was Nancy. I think it was Nancy's sister, and she was like, she seen them that week, and they spoke about things, but he put a massive disclaimer at the start again saying we're no glorifying anything. We just
Yeah.
were two people that wanted to talk, and we thought some people might be interested in it.
Aye.
And like, it's his pal. Like, even, and the thing is like, it wasn't as if he was only saying it to Benoit. He posted this picture, but like, think of how many people Chris has known in wrestling that has died. It didn't
Aye,
need to just
exactly.
be Eddie and Benoit. They just happened to be in this fan art that
I
was
think
there.
he picked it out deliberately.
Oh, so did
Yeah.
I, because they were all in Japan.
They
Like,
were all
it
close when they were there as well.
Yep.
And the thing is a lot of the Japanese crowd would have been looking at his Twitter that day, or his
Well,
Instagram or
exactly, and
whatever.
it's all
And
this
they
stuff
don't-
treated differently over there.
Aye, they
Obviously,
don't
know about
see it
it, but
the
they don't
same-
look at it the way we do.
They
They look
tend
at
to
it
separate
way more
the
respectful.
artist.
Yeah,
They'll look at the artist for their wrestling, and then whatever that other stuff they'll condemn almost differently, as if
aye,
they're two different people.
aye.
It's strange. So like, obviously he knew that it wasn't going to cause controversy there. They were just going to see another two guys who had also wrestled that were his pals in Japan. That what didn't stick around like for more than like 4 or 5 years. Well, Benoit had been there and again for years, but
Mhm.
different story. But the point was, is he knew the Japanese crowd weren't going to really care, and that's who he was selling to that day. And when he came home, he dealt with everybody else. But
Aye,
just let him grieve, because that's obviously what he's doing. He keeps
aye.
trying to bring it up. It's almost as if he's testing the waters to see if at some point he'll be able to just talk about his pal, and he should be allowed to.
I think so.
Yep.
But it's part of this whole internet thing with like everybody has to be first to show that they are the most moral.
Yeah.
You know,
What's
fuck
moral
the
about
actual situation. No, I have to show that I'm better than you morally and ethically. And instead of actually looking at the situation as it is.
what's
I'm
moral
not saying I'm
about...
comfortable with it or anything, I'm just saying this is right to deal with it. How
It's
you-
just
Aye, like,
people
what's
need.
moral about shouting at a grieving friend? Like, that,
Yeah.
just let him grieve. And he'll always be grieving, because it's not a situation that everybody is ever, like, no, statistically, none of us are ever going to be in a situation like that.
You would hope.
Yeah, you would
Yeah.
hope, but like, how many people, especially in the public eye, like how many people have to deal with that situation, but then also see it on the news?
Aye,
It's
exactly.
just let him try and find a way to deal with it, because I don't know where to start telling him how to deal with it, and I don't think anybody else does. So
Well, he can only find his own way.
Only people in the same situation can really, and that's not.
The best thing to do is deal with it how he can and get like somebody to talk to. But it's up to him how he deals with it. So let's talk about the main event, because I'm not getting dragged in with this Benoit bullshit.
No. Let's talk about this fucking main event, because I remember sitting going, this next match is going to be great, but is it going to be as good as that? And I know for a fact that Kenny and Chris went in with the intention of going,
stealing the show.
We should have been the main event, because we've just brought in an extra 15,000 people, and we're going to prove that, which you always should, regardless of where you are in the card, make a fucking statement. And so I went into it going, oh, that was a lot of hype. Will they get me back up to that level of hype again? And did they? Oh, these fucking perfect human beings.
Fucking awesome.
Yep, the match was. Oh.
I don't even know how to start talking about it. I really don't. You've got the two people with the best year in all of wrestling.
Aye.
Finish their year off by having one of the best matches. Just ever. I honestly, I don't have the words.
Nobody was getting momentum, but it just seemed as if they were constantly gone. It was the fucking strangest thing.
Aye.
It was beautiful. I can't.
It was a great story.
And like we said earlier with the storytelling, and that he has to still move on from his Stardust gimmick to get.
Yes.
To get,
he has to find this new level. And I also like this sort of story almost of the only way anyone's going to take down Okada, even on Okada's worst day, is to put in a flawless performance.
Aye,
because the only reason Kenny lost last year was one single mistake, and the only reason Naito lost this year was one simple slip up. That was it.
Right at the end, when he wanted to do a second Destino and overdid it.
Even the commentary
he
put that in. As soon as he went for that, the commentary were like, he should have covered him. He should have just cut it. It was everything
that
about
one
this
slip up cost him the title. So now this year, Naito's story will be him finding that next level.
And
I'm really
what I didn't even notice. Okay, say first, man.
No, it's just that that's his story for the year. He has to find that other level, that little step further that'll take him over the top to become the very best. And even at that, how do you beat the ace? You know?
Yeah.
The thing is,
I fucking love it.
Is again in the story that Okada's been telling, where he's putting in these absolute storming performances.
Aye.
And he's just, in the commentary, keep putting out that how much longer can he go on like this?
Aye, how can he have a perfect showing every time he goes out?
Like, they keep putting out, at some point, something's got to give, but then because he's broke so many records this year,
and because he's the best, he is the best.
He's like this mythical. They're almost starting to like make him this mythical, like, boss. Like,
aye, he's the final boss.
The Omega Weapon of New Japan.
They're starting to turn. It's Okada. You're never going to beat it. Like, it's this fucking cool.
He's right on the cusp of becoming almost mythical.
Aye.
In terms of talent, because of how they presented him, and I fucking love that we get to see it.
I like being part of this is fucking cool, because Okada's name isn't going any like there he is like on talk shows, he's on morning tellies, he's on everything.
Got your phone there,
he's
just eat. Get that.
But like, he's fucking like the year he's had. Like, think about the matches he's had for last year's Wrestle Kingdom to this one.
Aye.
Because it's
exactly.
There's not been a disappointing.
And he's been doing it all over the place, America and here.
Yep.
Aye.
Everywhere.
And it's there's just something that, like, see, for 2 years ago, Okada, there's something just different, something really clicked, and this year he's just, this story is just amazing, and it like, and they keep gaining on these challengers like Kenny and like Naito, like fucking.
Oh, it's not like he's getting bad opposition at all.
Aye, it's people every single time you're going, well, he's going to beat him. Like, even you said, you're like, well, Naito's going to beat him. And, like, when Kenny's facing him, I'm like, he's going to fucking beat him at some point. Like,
I
it
was
has to
absolutely certain Naito was winning. I really was.
All of
For a
us.
good solid fucking, for a good while during that match, I went in going, Okada's winning. And then about 5 minutes in, I was like, Naito's got this. And for the rest of the match, until he went for that second one, I was like, oh.
All of the working his neck was brilliant.
Yes.
Just for
Because of the G1.
how many Destinos
it was great.
3 or 4?
Oh, I don't even know. I need to watch it again. I need to.
You think I was counting anything during that match other than 1, 2, and 3? Like, that was all that mattered. But I like the constant focusing on the neck because of the G1, like the knee as well. It was just so perfect. It was almost simple on paper, but how they do it is just, I don't know. They're just magical together, and I want to watch them 1,000 times.
Give me all of them. Do it monthly. I don't care.
I do it through the until the end of time, and it's got the feeling of that, like Kevin and Sammy, like ladder war feeling.
That unique magic that not many people share. Rock Austin, and I thought he had. I mean, he had this thing about it.
But he seems to be having it with everybody. He seems to just. He's got that AJ Styles thing about him, where any match is good, but you put AJ in it, and it's going to be fucking great. He's going to pull the very best.
I know, but it's like he has this magic out of everyone. Like, there's nothing like when you saw like Kenny and Sammy hook up, when Austin Rock hook up, when Mick and fucking Triple H go to on. There's just that unique little magic, but somehow he has it with every single person he comes across, and I honest to Christ don't know how.
And you know the last person to have it, I'd say, like in Japan, was Nakamura.
Aye.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't say that by any short order, because Nakamura is fucking everything, but Okada has officially cemented himself up there as that, like,
and the thing is, he's still, 30?
Aye, and
that's terrifying.
Like, he could have another 10 years of just being this mythical boss guy who had this, like, unheard of long fucking title reign, and nobody could beat him, and it was only, and the way they'll put it is, well, they had said it goes another 6 months, say it was probably going to go longer, but for talking's sake, when he loses that match, and what they're going to say is, well, of course he did, he just had 18 months of fucking hell. Like, his body needs a rest, and what he'll do probably is go away for like a couple of weeks or like a couple of months, and then come back, and like they'll sell the story of, well, he's rejuvenated and he's going to figures back after his title, and if he has a feud or whatever he does.
No, honestly, I would be fine with him doing a thing where Naito keeps coming at him and keeps slipping up just that little bit until he has this other feud and something clicks with him, where he gets that sort of killer instinct.
Is the way they've like chaptered this with Kenny and Naito is that neither of them were quite ready, but they're building towards it.
They're not far off it.
Aye, because the way New Japan works is you'll have your title match and then you'll cycle back round through a bunch of other people, and they'll go through and have like, it's never like, it's very rarely like one pay-per-view it's like Kenny and Okada, and then the next pay-per-view it will be Kenny. It won't happen like that. They like to get cool enough time so that it always feels like a dream match almost, because you've been dying for it to happen. They know how to put the right amount of time.
And the other thing with this is it's going to make G1 mean that much more this year.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited.
Like now, we're actually building to the point where G1, there's going to end up being like 4 or 5 guys who could win it.
Yep.
You know, and nobody would complain, whoever came out on top.
I like. Do you know how beautiful that is to just have a choice, and we're happy with any of them because you've built them that
this is the one guy getting pushed over everybody else with some people who are all right. This is, you know, an actual competitive league.
And it makes no
difference. I'm sick of having had one guy shoved down my throat, and that's all that's happened in the West for the past 20 years. It's been the one guy. Only this guy, nobody else.
With a couple of other guys.
Aye,
in
here and
between.
there just to break it up, but it's always been that one fucking guy.
And
And
that's the
now
thing, is
we're
on
looking at
paper,
3 or 4.
on paper, looking at Okada, you'd think it was the same story, and
But-
it's fucking no. It's just
Exactly.
he has these good like matches that you watch and you feel exhausted after it, and you're like, how are you doing this, and how are you going to do this again in 4 weeks' time? Like,
Aye.
and he keeps doing it, so it just, the respect you have for him, because you know no matter who he's against, he's going to have these incredible matches. And I think the thing is overall, like, all the competitors that they've got that are at that main event level, is he's having all these matches with all of them, and he's pointing out to the fans as part of the story why they're not good enough yet to beat him. So then you start to root for your favourite one and watch them grow, and then whatever one they decide, whoever takes the title off them, whether it's Naito, whether it's Kenny, whether it's fucking
Somebody we don't
Tanahashi,
even know yet.
Aye.
Do you know, and even at that, the other thing I like is that, see, even if Tanahashi had one more run at the top, no one
Aye.
would complain.
No.
No,
No
but
one.
that's what I'm saying. Like regardless of who in that fucking ever gone roster it is, who takes the belt off him, then they're going to feel worthy. No,
Another thing is, with even when Okada does drop that belt, we're all going to have that expectation of, well, he's getting it back, but I don't think you would meet one person who would go, oh, for fuck's sake, he's got to be back up the top again.
No.
Aye,
You know?
exactly. But that's the thing is, see, even if you're watching New Japan and you don't like a certain champion, it doesn't matter, because there's so much depth and so much more going on that it's just a segment. You'll move on to the next thing, not even a segment, but like a match. You can, like, either if you're watching it and you don't want to watch them, you can skip it. I don't know why you would, because it'd be a great match anyway. But you can go
Yes.
to the next thing if you want, but there's still going to be other stuff that you really enjoy. Whereas in Western wrestling, see, if you don't like the top guy, you probably won't watch that promotion, because he's going to be in 5 different segments throughout the show. He's going
Aye.
to be just there all the time in your face, and commentary are just going to be so excited about him, and you're going to want to punch everything because you don't like that one person. And New Japan is they set up like that, and I'm really glad that it's no.
Aye, it makes all the difference. I mean, I cannot wait for this year. Wrestle Kingdom's been a wonderful opening to it, and I think this could be New Japan's best year ever. That's the kind of potential we're looking at now.
Well, that fucking Wrestle Kingdom top to bottom, like, it's hard to, like, all the holes we're poking in, we're going, well, there were really good matches.
That's the thing, though. This is true nitpicking.
Aye, this is, well, if we're really putting it under a microscope as if we're being paid to find a problem, then maybe they could work on this. But the thing is the top 2 matches were absolutely perfect. There's nothing really that you would change about them. And
again, the card just flies by.
Aye, like, because they're really good matches. Like, if nothing else, if it's just 2 young boys stuck out there, let's see what you've got, it's still going to be a fucking cracking match, because they've just spent 4 or 5 years doing MMA and wrestling training, and that's all they do all day, every day.
Aye.
So, like, there's only, like, there's a bar of how bad a match is going to be in New Japan, and it's quite fucking high in comparison to some of the other companies that other people might be used to watching. Like, you don't get on telly if you've just got a good gimmick, because you've not got a gimmick yet. Can you fucking wrestle? Well, get back in there.
Can I just say my one issue right now? Kitamura, I fucking love Kitamura, big scary bastard, but gonna lose those shark teeth, son. Jesus Christ!
But Martin, without his shark teeth, he's just another big guy.
Giant Japanese man.
Oh my god. But oh fuck, what's I've totally blanked on the hair versus hair match. What's his
Minoru
fucking name?
Suzuki.
No, Suzuki, the other one. I know Suzuki. Suzuki's the big scary bastard that I fucking love watching.
He's no big though, he's tiny.
I know he's tiny, but he's really imposing. Like, he's really fucking imposing. So in my mind, he's just this giant. When actually, no, he's no, Kirsty. You're misinforming the people
He's
listening.
just a wee wide-o bastard
Oh.
who's a young lion's worst nightmare.
Uh-huh.
So fucking. But him, see when he took that chair in, I went, he's no shaving his hair. He's got to. There's got to be some more fuckery in the story of these two.
And then he
he
came back, and I was
Once,
like,
once
oh.
that whole like gimmick was announced, the first thing I thought was Suzuki's no shaving.
I was like, if he loses, as soon as it was announced, I went, well, Suzuki's winning then, and instantaneously I was like, this is stupid. I see where this is going. But see when he just took the he put down his own chair because the chair he put down wasn't good enough apparently.
No.
I'll put my
That
own
was
chair
great.
down. And then he just
Minoru
takes
is
the
just
razor
amazing.
and sits down, like in settings like this all happens. Chair down, the geese that. It was as if he was like, I need to get this in and done with, or I'm not going to do it.
Mm.
And then just started hacking at his hair. Like commentary said it right. He looked like a dog with a mange. I was like, somebody needs to fix that when he gets backstage because I can't. Like,
I've never seen a hair versus hair match where somebody got their head shaved and it looked good after. They always do look like mangy messes.
like, see, because he's obviously like, because he had that like shaved pattern, but like when he was putting the razor down the front of it, nothing really changed.
Aye.
So it was just the back bit that looked terrible. I was like, the poor guy looks as if
Kirsty,
he's
the
just
thing
suddenly
about
got
this-
alopecia.
Kirsty, the thing about the back is about the old samurai era, where if you dishonor yourself, you cut your hair knot off. And
No,
Yes.
I
it's
got
basically
that. Like I got I get that and everything, but it looked bad. I know it was meant to, but it just the commentary as well. What was it he said? If
Can't
you
remember.
lost, there was a line for commentary and it was something, and then they were like in shame, as if it was like in celebration of them losing the match, like in shame. They really, I was like, that probably sounded a lot better in Japanese if I could understand it. Because it's a culture thing, like as you
Yep,
said, like
like
the
I said.
samurais would get their hair shaved off, but there was a line for commentary and it had me cackling for a solid like minute and a half. I was like, why? In shame. Oh, I'll remember it. I'll stop. It was just funny. I did enjoy it.
So
The commentary was great.
the point of this entire show is just to say Wrestle Kingdom is fucking brilliant, and if you don't like it, the problem is you.
If you couldn't find something in that whole 6-hour show that you like, you probably really don't like wrestling.
You shouldn't watch wrestling, and
I
you
was like-
certainly wouldn't be listening to this.
And for everyone that doesn't get the pun, it's for you, Will.
Yes,
Oh,
yes it is.
for you and people
Broken
like
inside,
you, Will.
you mad swine.
WWE has got to you. They've brainwashed you.
Brainwash you, left you not enjoying quality stuff.
He's damned.
Aye.
So,
It's over.
anybody want to add anything?
No, I
We-
think
are
we're
we
pretty much
happy?
done.
The bar has been set 2018. Don't
Aye,
let me
it's
down.
all downhill for here until the G1.
Oh no, we've got Bola as well. Bola's usually cracking.
Nah.
I love PWG Bola. It's just great wrestling matches. And I'm there for it. Everybody should watch Bola this year so we can talk about it.
Aye,
Really?
sure. Somebody pay me the money to afford their shite, and I'll watch it.
They've got a network now.
Aye, I'm not buying every fucking network. I went after every wrestling network.
I know where we're going to end up with like fucking £100 coming out a month just because we need to watch all the wrestling.
So you can just tell me about Bola or direct me to a grey market site.
It's Kirsty. It's too much at some point.
I'll see what I can do, guys. I'll
Oh,
probably
oh,
end up just
connections,
like,
Kirsty.
I'll probably just end up like I'll get it because I love it, and
I'll just watch yours.
I'll just pass about my password, and then we'll do it a couple of days later when everybody's watched
That works for me.
it.
That works for me.
Yeah.
It's the joy of being a network now and no having to buy a DVD every time you wanted to see it. Fuck's sake. Like, I love the show, but that was ridiculous.
Yes, because
Fucking-
buying DVDs are definitely what I did. With this internet age coming along, I bought all the DVDs.
I did buy Bolas. I love Bola, so
Need a GDP, a small country to afford all the bullshit. Anyway, I've enjoyed myself. I don't know about you guys.
Aye,
Of
wrestling.
course.
It's only
wrestling this
taken
week
2 hours.
was-
Not quite, but
It was a 6-hour
one and a
show.
half.
A little 6.5 hours. Like, I think we done quite well.
If you say so.
Well, I think it's time to wrap it up because my dinner's coming.
Aye, I need to leave.
Ooh.
I need to leave in an hour for work.
Aye.
Uh,
So thank you for joining us and talking about Wrestle Kingdom. Thanks to you guys, obviously, because without that I'd just be a man shouting at my TV.
And next week we shall continue with WWE madness.
Yes. The usual routine kicks back in where we go back to Raw and SmackDown and then try
show.
and get excited for the Royal Rumble.
The Royal Rumble is where it's going to be at.
Both of them. Wait, would that make the other one the Royal Rambess?
Pretty much.
Also, how the fuck are you going to get a 30-woman match when you've only got 11 active women?
We don't know.
Let's find out next week. So, yes, we'll talk about all that shit soon enough. Thank you for joining us in our Wrestle Kingdom roundup.
Alright. So, I've been Flo.
That'd be Kirsty. Take a drink of juice.
I was about to say, hello, you're on.
And I've been your very serious host. No nonsense when you're Japan. No nonsense.
It's
Thanks
all
for joining
business.
us, folks. We'll see you again soon for WWE's Bish. Bye.
Bye.